I'm a lone wolf. Alan Ritchson, on relating to his Reacher, Ordinary Angels characters. Reacher and Ordinary Angels star Alan Ritchson recently discussed how he relates to the lone wolf mentality displayed by his characters Jack Reacher and Ed Schmidt in the Prime Video series and Lionsgate movie, respectively. What is Ordinary Angels about? Based on a remarkable true story, Ordinary Angels centers on Sharon Hillary Swank, a fierce but struggling hairdresser in small-town Kentucky, who discovers a renewed sense of purpose when she meets Ed Ritchson, a widower working hard to make ends meet. For his two daughters, reads the official synopsis for the Lionsgate movie. With his youngest daughter waiting for a liver transplant, Sharon sets her mind to helping the family and will move mountains to do it. What unfolds is the inspiring tale of faith, everyday miracles, and ordinary angels. Although Ritchson has been working in Hollywood since the early 2000s, he is arguably more famous than he has ever been thanks to Prime Video's Reacher, which recently wrapped up its second season earlier this year. The success of Reacher has led to Ritchson being sought out for film roles like Ed in Ordinary Angels. He appeared as a secondary antagonist in 2023's Fast X, the 10th installment in the Fast saga, and has a supporting role in Guy Ritchie's upcoming action spy comedy film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which hits theaters in April. He also has a multi-year first-look movie deal with Amazon MGM Studios. Alan Ritchson teased Reacher Season 3. Reacher was secretly renewed ahead of its Season 2 premiere last year, with Ritchson revealing in December 2023 that production was already underway on Season 3. Now, during a recent chat with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, Ritchson shared that we are nearing completion of Season 3. While it's unknown when the third season might drop on Prime Video, with production almost over, it's looking likely that fans could see new episodes of Reacher as early as this year. Season 3 of Reacher will adapt the fan-favorite novel Persuader, which is set in Maine and follows the title character going undercover to rescue an informant being held by a haunting foe from his past. Maria Sten, who appeared in the first two seasons, is set to return as Frances Neagley, while new additions to the cast include Anthony Michael Hall, The Breakfast Club, and Sonia Cassidy, The Man Who Fell to Earth. Alan Ritchson is not new to playing strong, silent characters with deep emotional undercurrents. Best known for his portrayal of the larger-than-life Jack Reacher in the hit Amazon Prime series Reacher, Ritchson has become synonymous with the archetype of the solitary hero who operates by his own rules. In his recent film, Ordinary Angels, Ritchson takes on a different, yet equally compelling role as a man dealing with personal loss and the struggles of faith. What ties these characters together is Ritchson's own sense of individuality, a theme he openly embraces in his personal life, describing himself as a lone wolf. Finding solitude in Reacher. Ritchson's Reacher is based on the best-selling character created by author Lee Child, a former military policeman turned drifter, solving crimes and helping those in need as he moves from town to town. Reacher is an enigmatic figure, fiercely independent, rarely staying in one place or forming long-lasting bonds. The challenge of portraying such an iconic figure was no small feat, but for Ritchson, it was a role he could identify with. "I've always been a bit of a lone wolf," Ritchson said in an interview. "Reacher's independence, his ability to take on the world by himself, that resonates with me. I've never been the guy who needs to be part of a big group. I like my space, my autonomy." Ritchson's personal affinity for independence shines through in his portrayal of Reacher. The character, as Child wrote him, is methodical, almost machine-like in his efficiency. Ritchson, through his own quiet charisma, brings a nuanced humanity to Reacher. There's a sense of loneliness beneath the surface, even if Reacher himself would never admit to it. As a man who is always on the move, Reacher is an outsider to the very society he protects, a theme Ritchson connects with deeply. There's a strength in solitude, but there's also a cost. "I think that's what makes Reacher so compelling," Ritchson explained. "He's tough, sure, but he's also carrying a lot of weight on his own. I felt that too at different points in my life." Balancing power and vulnerability, what makes Ritchson's Reacher stand out is the balance he strikes between physical dominance and emotional restraint. The role demands a commanding presence, and Ritchson delivers. But it's the subtler, quieter moments that give his portrayal depth. Reacher is a man of few words, but every movement, every glance, communicates a lifetime of experiences and inner conflict. Ritchson's own approach to life echoes this complexity. People sometimes think being independent means being closed off or emotionless, Ritchson said. But it's not about shutting down. It's about knowing yourself well enough to handle life on your terms. Reacher does that, but so do I. There's vulnerability in being alone, but there's also power. Ritchson's portrayal of Reacher also taps into the universal theme of justice. In a world filled with ambiguity, Reacher represents a moral code that is unwavering. He seeks out the truth, no matter the cost. For Ritchson, that determination is something he relates to on a personal level. I'm someone who believes in doing the right thing, even when it's not easy or popular. That's what Reacher is all about, Ritchson shared. He's a guy who stands up for what's right, not because he's told to, but because he knows it's the right thing to do. I love that about him. Stepping into the role of faith in Ordinary Angels, while Reacher may be a man of action and principle, Ritchson's role in Ordinary Angels brings a different kind of challenge, one that touches on faith, personal loss, and the search for redemption. In this film, Ritchson plays a man grappling with his beliefs after a devastating loss, drawing him into a community of people struggling with their own hardships. The film, based on true events, explores how ordinary people can become angels to one another, even in the darkest of times. Ritchson's portrayal of this character reveals another side of his own life, his spirituality. Despite the differences between Reacher and his character in Ordinary Angels, both share a profound sense of isolation and an internal struggle to reconcile their personal beliefs with the world around them. In Ordinary Angels, my character is dealing with something very human: loss, doubt, and faith. It's a different kind of strength than what you see in Reacher, but it's still strength, Ritchson explained. Faith isn't just about religion. It's about hope, and sometimes it's about having faith in yourself when everything else feels impossible. Ritchson has spoken before about his own personal journey with faith, making the role in Ordinary Angels particularly poignant for him. I've had my own struggles with belief, especially when things haven't gone the way I thought they would. That's life, though. It's about finding your way through those tough moments. The universal appeal of the lone wolf, despite the differences between his roles, Ritchson's characters share a common thread: a deep sense of independence and an unwavering moral compass. Whether he's playing the stoic Reacher or a man searching for meaning in Ordinary Angels, Ritchson embodies the complexities of being a lone wolf. There's a quiet strength in his performances, but also a deep well of emotion, as his characters navigate the isolation that comes with being outsiders in their own way. For me, being a lone wolf isn't about rejecting others, Ritchson clarified. It's about knowing who you are and not being afraid to stand alone when you have to. Whether it's Reacher or Ordinary Angels, I think people connect with that. We all have moments where we feel like we're on our own, and those are the moments that define us. A career of strong, independent roles, Alan Ritchson has made a career out of playing strong, independent characters, and it's clear that his own personality influences his choices. From his early days playing a Quayman on Smallville to his more recent roles as Reacher and in Ordinary Angels, Ritchson has consistently brought a unique intensity to his characters. But beneath the surface of these powerful men is a vulnerability that he brings to life through his own experiences as a lone wolf. These characters, they're all a part of me in some way.